and welcome to Knit in the City. I am Rebecca, the city is Malmö, and it's high time for my annual autumn knitting plans and dreams, with emphasis on dreams. I don't feel autumn in the air at all. It's 25 degrees outside, but I'm not discouraged by that, because I'm really excited about autumn knits, and I hope you are too. This year I have felt really inspired by rustic yarns and autumn colors. I will not be knitting in the traditional autumnal colors because it just doesn't look good on me. I mean, orange is like the worst color you could put on me. But yeah, and everything cozy I'm feeling right now. I fell upon the lovely podcast Orchid's Heart here on YouTube, which just was so inspiring to me, and that's where I started feeling the love for all these rustic autumnal things this year. And I mean, if you're not feeling it, you should head over there and check it out because it's so nice. I am really eager to make an autumn jacket this year because this is something I've actually never done before. And it would be really nice to have a knit jacket that you can wear instead of a store-bought one. So this is going to be in the roundup today. I'm also really drawn to colorwork yokes, which is something that I think happens every year. Cables is another thing I really want to make things with. I'm starting to warm up to socks, and I'm really drawn to rustic socks and also textured patterns. But in this case, it's more like inspired by nature, like flower motifs or leaves, grains, things like that. But before I start talking about the patterns, which are a lot, I will talk a little bit about the color palette that I want to bring out for this season. And like I said before, it's not going to be your classic orange, olive green, brown, this kind of autumnal color palette, because I do feel like I look better in cooler colors. The thing is, I mean, now it's been summer, and in summer I feel like I'm more drawn to colorful things. So I have been knitting more colorful things, and in general I knit things with too much color because it's fun and it makes you happy, but I do need more basic colors in my wardrobe. So for this season I have picked some neutrals that I will try and concentrate on in my knitting, and we will see how it goes. The first one is a pinkish brown, because I feel like I don't want to give up on brown completely. And if there is a pink tint to it, it tends to work pretty well. And this looks almost maroon in this picture, this picture, and that could also work. But something, I mean, I think probably because I put it next to the other pink, it looks even more pink, but this is actually more of a brown. The next one is a dark gray. I'm going for the sky part here, that I think is a great substitute for black, which looks really harsh on my rather light colors. So that is a great neutral, The next one I have picked is a pearl gray, I think they would call it. This is a really, really light gray. It's almost instead of a white, which the stark white can also be harsh on my features. And the more ebony whites are generally a bit too warm. So I have picked this one. A lot of roses. I think Pinterest really likes roses. So just look past that. And the next one is, this looks very pink, but I'm thinking it's kind of a mixture of beige and pink. It's a pinkish beige or a beigeish, that's weird, pink. That just, it looks pretty neutral when it's on. The next one, also a rose, is a denim blue. And this can go from the lighter to the darker. Any of those blues, because I feel like blue is probably my best color. So I'm feeling like I want to lean into that. And the last one is a grayish green, very pale and muted. Maybe a sage green, but sage greens are sometimes a bit warm. Sea green, maybe I can call this. Yeah, so that's the color palette that I want to focus on for this season, and we will see how that works out. And now I will dive into the patterns. I have 24 patterns that I'm going to talk about, and I have put them into categories. I don't want this to take all day, so I'll try to be swift. I have made a Ravelry bundle that I will link in the description box. And what else? Yeah, name of pattern and designer will be on screen, and of course pictures, so that you can see what I'm talking about. So I will start with the category of jackets, because that is something I'm really excited about. And the first one, whoa, I will remove this piece of paper now, because it showed on the screen, and also my face is a bit, okay, yeah. Back to the matter at hand. It's a Santiam Canyon jacket by K. Hopkins. And this looks really classic, nice and cozy, like a really warm knit. It's a ribbed jacket with stockinette sleeves and a standing collar. It's knit from the top down, and it has raglan decreases. The collar is double folded for extra warmth, which is great when you don't have an extra layer over it. It comes in 9 sizes, from extra small to 5XL, and has a recommended positive ease of 6 inches or 15 centimeters. Yeah, and I'm going to say this now. If there is a pattern where I'm not telling you about centimeters or inches or millimeter needles or US needles, I will put it on the screen, so don't worry. Yes, the recommended positive ease is 6 inches or 15 centimeters. It's knit in a worsted weight yarn on 3.5, 4 and 4.5 millimeter needles, and that is the equivalent of US 4, 6 and 7. The next jacket is the Zen jacket, adult. I mean, imagine how cute this would be on a child, by Nashwa Sakr. Sorry about that. Yeah, so cute. I first saw the up and down jacket, and I will put a picture of that here as well, so that you can see. And I was hooked. This is so cute with the red and the texture pattern and all of it. But I found out that it's only available in Korean. So, I mean, if you speak Korean or read Korean, check it out. I'm not going to talk about that jacket here because most of us do not. So instead I picked the Zen jacket because this also comes in English. Yes, I think it's a nice substitute. And this garment is knit in something called shaker rib, and I had to Google this. Apparently the first row is a 1-1 rib, the second you knit all the stitches, and on the third row, this is where the magic happens, you knit 1 stitch from the row below and purl the next to the end. And it does look a lot like brioche. It seems less complicated though, so maybe that's a good thing. I don't know, I haven't tried. But this is a top-down garment, and it has a raglan construction. You start with the collar, which is knit in a boucle yarn, so that, I mean, that looks really nice. It comes in 5 sizes, extra small to 2XL. There is a pattern for 3XL that has not been test knitted, but if you'd like to do that, you can contact the designer. It is knit holding 2 strands of yarn together to create an Aran weight fabric on 4, 4.5 and 5 millimeter needles, which is US 6, 7 and 8. Next category is cardigans, and the first one is a Caitlin Hunter pattern. It's the halibut cardigan. And I mean, I love this, the halibut pattern, it's so cute. I actually have the halibut sweater in my Ravelry library. I have not knit this beautiful thing yet, but I'm planning on doing that hopefully rather soon. And you may have seen this, the sweater version, or maybe even the cardigan. Yes, it has a deep V and the pretty fish pattern that is made with the stranded color work. It's knit from the bottom up in the round and then steeked. And the upper front and back is knit back and forth. And then you pick up the sleeves and knit in the round. It comes in 6 sizes with a recommended positive ease of 20.5 to 30.5 centimeters, which is the same as 8 to 12 inches. And it is knit in an Aran weight yarn on 4 and 5.5 millimeter needles. That is US 6 and 9. The next cardigan is the Poly cardigan by Amy Christophers. This is reminiscent of the pressed flower cardigans, and it's worked in the same technique, so that's probably why. This is a V-neck cardigan knit in mosaic knitting, which is a great color work technique because you only knit with one color at the time and you slip the other color. So if you are new to color work, this is a good place to start. The cardigan is knit from the bottom up, back and forth, and sleeves are knit in the round. It comes in 8 sizes and it is knit in a worsted weight yarn on 3.5 and 4.5 millimeter needles, which is US 4 and 7. The last cardigan is the Ralph cardigan by Moreka Knit, and I mean, I really love the look of this. This is a much more classic, toned down and timeless cardigan than the previous ones. I have been in the market for a long cardigan like this for a while. I did knit myself a no frills cardigan, but unfortunately it has a tendency to fall off the shoulders. And this cardigan uses short rows to ensure a good fit over the shoulders, so I think this would be a great pattern to pick for that reason. It's knit top down, starting at the back, and it has double knitted button bands. It comes in 7 sizes from extra small to 3XL, and it is knit in a DK and a lace weight held together to create an Aran weight fabric. It's knit on 3.5 and 4 and 4.5 millimeter needles, which is US 4, 6 and 7. The next category is something that I have been really excited about, and that is colorwork yokes. And the first one, I mean, what is more autumnal than a sweater with a colorwork yoke? I mean, it can be wintry as well, but yeah. The first one is another Caitlin Hunter pattern, and it's the gorgeous autumn Alpine that I have been pining for a long time. I mean, I love this since the first time I saw it, and I'm sure I'm not alone. This sweater has a stranded colorwork yoke with this really gorgeous flower motif. It has added rib details on the neckband, the sleeves, and the cuff. Cuff and hems are the correct words. The garment is knit from the top down in the round, and it has short rows in the back neck. It comes in 9 sizes and has a recommended positive ease of 2 to 8 inches, which is 5, this can't be right, 5 to 20.5 centimeters. That sounds wrong. Well, I don't know, I'll check it out. It's knit in a sport weight yarn on 3.25 and 3.5 millimeter needles, which is US 3 and 4. The next one is from a designer who makes really stunning colorwork yokes, and that is Teti Lutzak. And this is the Roots and Shoots sweater, and I think this has been around the block. But I mean, I just think it's so gorgeous, I had to talk about it. And at first glance, they have a traditional look, but there's also something quite unique that just draws the eye, and I can't really put my finger on it. This sweater also has a floral motif, but it's quite different from the autumn Alpine. It's a round yoke sweater knit from the top down, and in the round. It has a corrugated rib at the cuffs and hem, and the cuff is knit in sorry, I'm getting confused here. Corrugated rib at the hem and the cuffs. It is knit in an unspun yarn held with mohair. It comes in 9 sizes with a recommended positive ease of 15 to 20 centimeters, which is the equivalent of 6 to 8 inches. Yeah, then probably it was correct before. It's knit in a sport weight gauge on 2.5 and 3 millimeter needles, which is US 1.5 and 2.5. The next colorwork yoke is Tuku by the Petite Knitter. This is probably also something that you might have seen. And this is another designer that I have been eyeing for quite some time. Her designs look so rustic and cozy, and at the same time the colorwork is really delicate and beautiful. And this is a top down in the round sweater with a ribbed turtleneck. It comes in 10 sizes with a recommended positive ease of 7.5 to 13 centimeters, 3 to 5 inches. It's knit in a DK weight yarn on 3.5 millimeter or US 4 needles. And the Petite Knitter also has a book out that seems to be really beautiful, so you may want to check that out. The next category that I have to talk about is cables. And the first one is a snow crocus. And this sweater is from the designer of the extremely popular ranunculus. So it's a Midori Hirosa design. And what I like about this is that it has both bigger and smaller cables. And it also has big parts that looks like it's moss stitch, which makes it a quicker knit than an all-over cable design. It's knit seamlessly from the top down, and it comes in 12 sizes from 2XS to 6XL, so it has a huge range of sizes. And it's designed to fit with 10 to 17 centimeters of positive ease, or 4 to 6 3/4 inches. It's knit in a worsted weight yarn on 5 and 6 millimeter needles, which is US 8 and 10. The next cable sweater is the Haru sweater by Knits by Summer. And this is an oversized all-over cable pattern. Here you are working the cables all the time. It has gorgeous little cables that for some reason make me think of candy. It's a drop shoulder construction, and yeah, it does seem like a lot of work because you're crossing a cable every other row. So, I mean, but it is so pretty. I'm sure it will be worth it. It has these wide sleeves that have been popular for a while, and I really like that look. The sweater comes in 5 sizes and has a recommended positive ease of 27.5 to 32.5, so this is quite oversized. Centimeters, that is. And it is knit in a lace and a fingering held together on 3 and 4 millimeter needles, which is a US 2.5 and 6. The next cable design is the Viva cardigan and vest by the Westland sisters. And I love the slanted cables on the back of this cropped cardigan. It's a bottom-up construction, knit in reverse stockinette with stockinette sleeves. It comes in 9 sizes, extra small to 5XL, with a recommended positive ease of 15 centimeters. It's knit in a DK weight yarn on 3.5 and 4 millimeter needles, which is a US 4 and 6. And this pattern also includes a vest version, if that's what you want. And that just segues me over to the next category, which is vests. And actually the first pattern is a cabled vest, so even better. And that is the Haley Slipover by Iris Age. And I love this V-neck vest that just screams top university. It's knit from the top down and starting at the back. It has short rows in the back neck and a double folded collar. It comes in 9 sizes with a recommended positive ease of 5 to 10 centimeters or 2 to 4 inches. It's knit in a DK weight yarn on 4 and 4.5 millimeter needles, which is US 6 and 7. The next one is the vest number 26 by Daisy and Peace. And I mean, I'm a sucker for a V-neck vest. And when I saw this, I just thought it was gorgeous. And I got excited, and I didn't even notice that this is a crochet pattern. And I had to include it because it's the perfect vest. Now I just need to work on my crochet skills because they're sorely lacking. This design comes in 6 sizes from extra small to 2XL. And it has a regular fit, is what it says in the pattern. It doesn't say how much ease is recommended. It's crocheted in a DK weight yarn on 3 and 5 millimeter hooks. The next vest is the Solstice Dispenser by Mandy Julie, and this has a really cute lace pattern. It's a cropped vest that comes in 7 sizes from extra small to 3XL, but the designer says to reach out for a test knit if your size is not represented. So there are more sizes available. It's knit in a sport weight yarn on 3 and 3.5 millimeter needles, which is US 2.5 and 4. The next category is mittens, because when you get into autumn a little bit, you're gonna need them. And the first one is called Saktevotter by Siri Nielsen. So this is a Norwegian pattern. Votter means mittens. And these mittens have a really cute cable and bobble pattern. It comes in 2 women's sizes, but it's easily adapted for length, at least. They're knit in a DK weight yarn on 3 millimeter needles, which is a US 2.5. The next pattern are the Rodin mitts by Isolde Teague. And these simple mitts have a fold over edge for extra coverage if needed. And I mean, the mitts are perfect for autumn when you don't have to cover your whole hand. They're knit in 2 different rib patterns. The cuff is knit in 1-1 rib and the rest of the mitt is knit in 2-2. The thumb increases form a curved line through the palm that I think looks really nice. These mitts come in 6 sizes from extra small to extra large, so they're a perfect gift for a range of people. They're knit in a DK weight yarn on 3 and 3.5 millimeter needles, which is a US 2.5 and 4. The pattern comes as part of a collection of small projects called Knitworthy 7, but can also be purchased as a single pattern. The last mittens that I'm going to talk about are the Field Mittens by Camilla Ward. And she has a whole range of field patterns with this beautiful grain motif that I feel really drawn to. There is a sweater, a cardigan, a slipover and a beret. And I actually have the sweater pattern and I'm really dying to knit that. I just need to find a good yarn to combine with this beautiful pattern. Well, the mitts are worked seamlessly from the cuff. They only come in 1 size and they're knit in a DK weight yarn on 3 millimeter needles or US 2.5. And you need a warm neck as well, so I put some shawls and cowls in here as well. Because autumn really is shawl season, I think. The first one is the Skovbund shawl by Fiber Tales. And this designer has a whole bunch of beautiful shawls that give off this kind of forest cottage aesthetic that I'm really drawn to at the moment. And this triangular shawl is worked bottom up with decreases on the sides and center. So like you usually go the other way. So this is kind of interesting. It has ribbing, eyelets and a flower and leaf motif. And the body is knit in garter stitch. It measures 180 centimeters over the wingspan and 65 centimeters through the spine. And this is 71 for the wingspan and 21.5 for the spine in inches. The shawl is knit in a light fingering and a lace held together for a really cozy feel that can take you into winter as well, on 3.5 or US 4 needles. The next one is a cowl. It's the raunioiset cowl. That's Finnish. I don't know how it's supposed to sound, and I also don't know what it means. But it is a cowl that is knit seamlessly, and it also has this grain pattern that is reminiscent of the one featured on the field mittens. It's knit in garter stitch with a decorative slip stitch every now and then. It only comes in one size, and it's knit in a sport weight yarn on 3.5mm or US 4 needles. The next one is the deer scarf by now I'm not going to say the designer's name because I'm going to botch it. I already made a fool of myself. So this rectangular scarf is from the 52 Weeks of Shawls book from Line Publishing. It's knit in an alternating rib and what is called a deer stitch pattern. I'm not sure what the deer stitch is, but it looks like small cables. This pattern is also reversible, so you can wear the scarf any side out. It looks the same on both sides. And it measures 205 times 55 centimeters or 81.5 times 21.75 inches. It is knit in a fingering weight yarn, so this is going to take you a while. So you better get started now if you want to make it. It is knit on 3 and 4mm needles or US 2.5 and 6. The next category is hats, which is great for someone like me who bikes a lot. And the first one is also a fiber tails pattern. It's called the Rygate Hat. And here we have the grain-like pattern again. I guess I'm obsessed. This is knit from the bottom up with a ribbed brim and my new favorite plant motif. Decreases are made with a decorative center double decrease. And this hat only comes in one size. It's knit in DK weight yarn on 3.5 and 4mm needles, which is US 4 and 6. The next hat is the Rygate Hat by Claire Borchardt. This hat also has a folded brim and a pretty cable pattern. It comes in 3 sizes from child to adult large, and it is knit in a DK weight yarn on 3.25 and 3.75mm needles, which is a US 3 and 5. And we have already arrived at the last category for today, and that is socks that I'm starting to warm up to. And I have picked 3 really pretty rustic looking sock patterns. And the first one is the Eine by Melody Hoffman. And this is another designer that makes this cozy rustic looking patterns. And these cute flowers are made using a technique that combines knitting and embroidery. And it is explained in the pattern, even though it sounds scary. The sock has a heel flap and gusset construction, and it comes in 2 sizes, women's M and L. It's knit in a fingering weight yarn on 2.25mm needles or US 1. There is also an Eine mitts pattern to go with the socks. The next pattern is a stone knits pattern, and it's called Joyce. And this is a designer who has made lots of cute colorwork socks, and she's made a book as well that has become quite popular for good reason. These socks has a floral motif in vertical stripes. They are knit cuff down, the way I like it, and has a no wrap shorter heel, which is maybe not the best for my big foot. They come in 3 sizes and are knit in a fingering weight yarn on 2.25 and 2.5mm needles, which is the equivalent of US 1 and 1.5. The last pattern is Mudo by the Petite Knitter, and these are a really stunning pair of colorwork socks. They're knit from the cuff down with an afterthought heel. And they come in an incredible 11 sizes, from child to adult, and they're knit in a fingering weight yarn on 2.25 millimeter needles, which is a US 1. And that was all I had for today. And if you are not sick of hearing my voice, you can check out my other autumn-inspired videos, such as my favorite autumn knits or my autumn UFOs. Thank you so much for bearing with me, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in the